everyone, and welcome to Playables and Polygons, a podcast about gaming news, new games, old games, and reviews. My name's Johnson.
And I'm Mariah.
And I'm Nee.
Today we are going to start with our review section, and I've decided to choose Sekiro.
Ooh.
It's a game that came out in 2019 by From Software Games.
Interesting.
And honestly, one of the greatest games I've ever played. The combat is perfect. You're a shinobi that loses his arm, and he gets a prosthetic one, so you get a bunch of new weapons. You get throwing stars. You get these fans that you can use as a shield, like a little flame shooter. It's a great game. The combat itself is kind of hard. It is extremely fast-paced. It is you need high skill level to play it. But you can learn how to play it.
I'm going to have to.
It is I was a little off at first. The scenery was beautiful. It takes place in old-timey Japan, where they have the stylized towers, sakura trees.
I love that. I found out why they have the curved roofs on Japanese houses. It's so spirits, when they come down, they just fly away.
I kind of want to go to Japan.
Cool. That's actually kind of cool. I beat the game about twice now.
Ooh.
Impressive.
I played both endings. There's a good and a bad ending.
Is there any side quests or anything? Is it just mainly focused on the story, getting to the end, basically?
There are side quests about you can just go around, people ask you to do certain things, and you can get prosthetic tools or other quest items that can help you. There's a sword that you get later on in the game that literally severs immortality from somebody.
Interesting.
I like that. When did you start playing?
I started playing it about a year ago. I didn't get into it because it was kind of hard to me. Then I played Elden Ring, got through that a couple times, and I decided to come back to it about a month or two ago, and it was the best game I've ever played.
Next up is our game recommendation segment, and the game I'm going to be talking about is Elder Scrolls V Skyrim. I got Skyrim on my Switch a while ago. I don't know how long ago, but I know I wanted it since I was a kid, since I loved open world games, and I saw it once, and I was like, oh yeah, gotta have that. And I've loved it ever since.
Skyrim is definitely a Bethesda classic.
Oh, definitely.
It was a beautiful open world game. The spells, the combat was pretty decent. The skill trees, oh my god, there were a lot of skill trees.
Oh yeah.
I don't know anything about this.
Then let me explain.
Go ahead.
It came out in November 11th, 2011. Like you said, it was made by Bethesda, which also made the other Elder Scrolls games, Morrowind, Oblivion, and a bunch of other games. They're really good. And Skyrim has to be the biggest open world in that series. The Elder Scrolls take place in a place called Tamriel, which is pretty much just medieval fantasy.
Right, Tamriel was the continent,
Yes.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, and in Skyrim, you play in Skyrim, obviously. They have so much lore that you can just get lost into. It's all of their races have their own perks, and you can create your own characters. I love it so much. I've been playing it so much.
So many factions, too.
Oh,
the
definitely.
Thieves Guild was my guild.
Definitely.
You guys know too much. I don't know any bit.
It's a very good game. That's definitely something you need to put on your list.
Definitely.
Of playing.
You know
I'll
what?
get
I
you
will.
started.
Nice.
So the game starts off, you're in a carriage, you just got captured.
Yeah, they're taking you in for something.
For trying to cross the border. A dragon attacks, and you end up escaping.
Nice.
And then it turns out you are a bit more than you seem. I don't want to spoil anything, even if it is early in the story.
I wish that happens in real life. If I go in jail or something like that, and a random dragon just destroyed it, I like it.
Have fun with that.
Yeah, totally.
Thanks.
Yeah, that'll definitely happen.
Go ahead, commit a felony.
Already
See
did.
if the dragon will come and
Already
save
did.
Which felony do you want to commit, Aaron?
Tax evasion. I don't want to pay my taxes. Do you know how much expense?
I mean,
Forget what I said. Forget what I said.
It's really fun to just sit down and play, and you can like have different stories. Like you play through it once, you do all the quests and everything, and you could start over being like a solely good or solely bad person.
Yeah.
And Anniversary Edition was amazing. I've been playing in survival mode, and it's tough, but it's nice.
Oh yeah, I forgot that survival mode like literally means survival mode. You need to eat, drink,
Sleep.
sleep. You can get cold. You can get too hot.
You have to do all of that?
Oh
Yep.
yeah, that's what
You don't
survival
have
is.
to. You don't have to, but
Okay, and finally for our news and upcoming release segment, the Elden Ring DLC, which will be released on June 24, 2024. Which, those who don't know about Elden Ring, is just an open world where you play as the character and literally fight every single monster you can, like anything, and then fix the Elden Ring and then just become one of the Elden Lord.
See,
nice.
I am extremely excited for this. I played through Elden Ring at least 3 times.
I haven't played it, so I don't know anything. So I'm really excited to play Elden Ring so I can know about the story, then I can play it.
From what I've seen about the DLC and the trailer, a lot of people are theorizing that this isn't like actually the lands between. It's a mirror of it. You've watched the trailer, to anyone who's watched the trailer. The person at the end with the red hair that has all the spikes and everything.
My favorite.
People
For real.
are saying that could be a mirror of Melania, or it could be her brother.
I wonder if Point Grows Fish is going to beat whoever that is.
I don't know. Let Me Solo Her's got some competition coming in now.
So I'm really excited to first time to play Elden Ring as my like first time, so I can know about it and just,
Same.
It is definitely it's a very forgiving game. I will say that out of all the Souls games, it's extremely forgiving to new players, and I'm happy about that because that's what got me into the Souls games.
That's good. I've been wanting to play it since it came out, but I didn't know if I should get it on my Xbox or my laptop.
The reason I want to play Elden Ring because I played Dark Souls, the first one, the remaster one. It was insane. I raged. I almost threw my controller, but I hold on to it because I don't want to pay. Money's tight, first of all. So
You got
yeah,
that right.
yeah. So I'm really excited. I'm probably going home and just gonna play and see how it goes. Hope I don't rage or anything crazy stuff like that and throw my controller or something because, you know.
It is, since it's open world, you do not have to actually fight everything head on. You can come back at any time, get stronger, level your character up, find new weapons, better equipment.
That's true. We can teleport. I remember that you could teleport, stuff like that, from what I heard from some people.
I know we're not talking about Skyrim anymore, but I just have something to say. Don't put it on Legendary mode and forget you have it on Legendary mode. I got onto an island and I got roasted in 2
Wait, what?
seconds without even realizing because I accidentally left it on Legendary mode from a different game.
I feel
Amazing.
that with Fallout 4, I've done that before. Something I am excited about, though, with the new Elden Ring DLC, the new Ashes of War, the new weapons and everything. I saw something about flying kicks. That
Ooh.
they took that from Sekiro, because in Sekiro you could unlock they were called senpu kicks, and they were like monk. It was a monk fighting style, and it was a really fun like breaking posture, throwing kicks at people. When I saw that in the trailer, it was on site. I want that.
I'm really curious on the like new location about the Land of the Shadow. I just watched it. It was really good, but there's so many mystery that I want to know so bad. I just want to play it and I want the game to come out sooner. Stuff like
Yeah, I'm ready. This DLC needs to come out quicker,
that. Yep.
because they can't just drop a cold trailer like that and then
plus,
expect us not to be excited.
it did win the Game
Yeah.
of the Year. So
Oh yeah,
I'm,
it was Game of the Year too. I am waiting for a Game of the Year edition to come out. That's all for this edition of Playables and Polygons. We thank you for joining us in our podcast today, and we hope to see you again.
Goodbye.
Hello and welcome to Celebrity Slice, the show all about the latest in pop culture news. I'm Katie Games.
And I'm Julia Moreira de Oliveira, and we are here to fill you in the craziest stories of the celebrities in the world.
Our first segment is called Believe It or Not, when we tell you the most mind-blowing facts about celebrities.
Believe it or not, single Kesha loves her fan so much that she developed a very strange habit. She collects their teeth. You know that? This is strange. It's weird. It's almost 5,000 teeth.
Yeah, and she made a bra out
Yeah.
of canine teeth. Yeah.
She have a little strange habit now, Gali.
Kesha's always been weird, though. She's just kind of a weird girl. I'm kind of weird, too, so, like, I can't really judge her, but, like, I'm not weird. Like, I'm not collecting teeth to make clothes.
Me neither.
I don't like it. She, like, went out of her way to ask people to send her teeth. And they did it.
This is the point I never come in my life. Like,
Yeah.
oh, can you give me your teeth?
Yeah. I would never ask people to give me their teeth. And if somebody asked me, like, for one of my teeth, I'd probably tell them no.
I don't know.
All right. So the Oscars happened on Sunday, March 10th, and they were at the Dolby Theater in Hollywood. Oppenheimer had a pretty clean sweep.
Yeah, Oppenheimer win a lot of things. Yeah. Like, oh my god.
Do you want to tell us what Oppenheimer won?
Oppenheimer won Best Picture, Best Direction, Christopher Nolan, Best Actor, Cillian Murphy, Best Supporting Actor, Robert Downey Jr., Best Score, Best Cinematography, Best Edition. And
they were nominated for a lot too.
And Oppenheimer won a ton of, oh my gosh. I don't know. And the nominated for Best Adaptation Screenplay, Best Makeup and Hairstyling. This is fun. Best Production Design, Best Customer Idea, and Best Sound.
I wish I would have watched it. I probably shouldn't say that. I didn't watch Oppenheimer. Barbie came out, and I was so excited about Barbie.
I watched Barbie with my friends, like me, my sister, and more 3 friends.
Mm-hmm.
They love it. One of my friends say, that's not what I expected. I say, yeah. I think it's different what you think when you think about Barbie.
Yeah, it was like real.
Yeah.
And I was like laughing and then I was crying and bawling my eyes out.
The weird thing is when you go to the cinema, watch the movie, it was a lot of kids in there. Like, say,
I know.
Oh gosh, this is not for kids, guys.
No, if I would have taken my kid there, I would have.
I get out in like 5 minutes the movie.
No, but I thought it was so nice, and I love that they did what they did with it. Like, I think they went about Barbie like in a really smart way.
Yeah, I like the Barbie. The song, the music.
Oh my gosh!
I like that.
Don't even. Oh my gosh, Billie Eilish, What Was I Made For? Oh my gosh. It literally makes me sob. It's so good though. And
she won.
I
right?
know. She did. She won Best Song. Barbie was nominated for Best Picture, Best Supporting Actress was America Ferrera. Love her. She did so good. Best Adapted Screenplay, Best Production Design, Best Costume Design, Best Supporting Actor, which was Ryan Gosling. He did so good. He is so funny. And then Billie Eilish won Best Song.
Barbie won something.
Billie Eilish did win Best Song, but they were nominated, but they didn't.
Yeah.
The movie didn't win anything, which I thought was insane. I expected them to win a lot more.
Yeah, because it's a great movie. Like.
Oh, it was so good. But I feel like you just have to, like, I don't know. I feel like it takes a certain type of person to, like, appreciate the movie.
Yeah.
Like, I watched it with my mom. She watched it without me. And
great mom.
she was like, I hated it. And I was like, you need to watch it with me. And then we watched it together. And now she loves it because it's, like, about a mom and a daughter. And then it's about, like, women and everything they go through, which I could go on all day about.
I'm a terrible person. I watch with my friend. She is not a good with her mom, and her mom is not a best person. And when I make a joke with her mom, and she started laughing. And I look like, why you laugh about that? And I start laughing because she said, because you make a joke about my mom. And I say, oh my gosh, we have problems here.
I do that too, though. I feel like that's the best way to go about everything. Is like,
Yeah, make jokes. And my friend because I make jokes about everything. Problems.
I do the same. I don't blame you. But oh my gosh, I probably should have watched Oppenheimer.
They said it's a great movie.
I've heard good things about it. I just don't feel like I
saw
would be into it.
The explosion don't have song, like you
Yeah.
don't hear the explosion. Say, why you go in the movie with explosion and you don't hear that?
I don't know.
Strange, but
It's all about bombs and
yeah,
stuff, and I would rather watch a movie about like
ice thing.
yeah. But Robert Downey Jr. won Best Supporting Actor, which is really cool because that was the first Oscar he's ever won. And he's come a long way. He was doing really bad for a long time. I'm very happy for him. I'm really happy for Billie Eilish.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I love Billie Eilish too.
And she's so young. She's only like 19.
She have 22.
She's 22?
Yeah, she's 22.
Oh, oops. Just act like I didn't even.
Oh, is that a problem? She look like younger.
Yeah. She's just so good. And, I love her. It's just me obsessing over Billie Eilish now.
Not a problem. Everybody have one.
Yeah. Everyone should have one, I think. But, yeah. So, I personally think that Barbie should have won everything. But,
I think I'll like 1 or 2.
yeah.
But Oppenheimer is a great movie. The people love it. And they watch with Barbie. Like, they watch Barbie and they watch...
And because they came out on, like, the same day.
Yeah.
And, like, Barbenheimer. That's what people were calling it.
Oh, my God.
Barbenheimer. I don't even know.
A lot of people go with, like, pink to watch Barbie. And after they go with black. And you look... how you have... pink in like 2 minutes you change for black.
I went and saw Barbie in the theater. I didn't dress up for it. I literally wore sweatpants and like, you know, those hoodies that are like a blanket, like a Snuggie.
I wear this suit to go.
Mm-hmm.
I wear, my friends say, you don't have pink. I say, this is only close pink I have.
Yeah. That's what I wore to the movie theater. Took my blanket and I snuck a bunch of snacks in. It was great. And I laughed a lot. And then I was crying and then laughing and then crying and then laughing.
Like when the movie finished, you say, she said that, really? You don't expect that.
All right. Well, I think that's all for today.
Yeah, I think.
Thank you everyone for listening. And be sure to subscribe to Red Devil Productions for future releases from our podcast studio.
See you the next time.
Bye. Hello.
I don't know. Maybe my voice is strange. Oh my God.
It should be better. Hello and welcome back to Celebrity Slice, the show all about the latest in pop culture. Oh my God.
Baba, you can record again. Is that
Okay.
a problem?
Hello and welcome to Tall Tales with D&D, a storytelling podcast where each episode we bring in a guest to tell a mostly true story, and it's up to one of us to figure out which part of the story is a tall tale. I'm Derek.
And I'm David. In this episode, we have no guests. Instead, Derek will be telling a story, and I will guess the lie. Derek, what's your story about?
Well, this story we generally like to tell at my house, mostly because of how dumb I was in it. So I have decided to dub this the lionfish story. So back when I was about 4 years old and still lived in Colorado Springs, Colorado, we used to have the most perfect sunrise and sunset view of Pikes Peak. I mean, it was absolutely beautiful.
Colorado, like I said, I've been in Colorado, and like for you to make that bold statement, like that's a pretty big statement for to have the best view in Colorado. But I'll go ahead and believe you.
Oh, you didn't live at my house. It was absolutely amazing, or at least according to my parents, since I was 4 years old. What am I supposed to remember?
All right, I'll take your word for it.
But yeah, back when I was 4 years old, of course, I was old enough to be walking around, doing dumb stuff, as any normal 4-year-old would. I would especially love to crawl out of my crib and just climb down the stairs into the basement, of which it was where my parents' room was. Every single time, they would just hear this thump, 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 and me just jumping down each individual step.
What, did they not care?
No, they generally, well, they were my parents, of course they cared, but
Yeah.
they would always hear me coming. But that aside, they used to have like this large fish tank in their bedroom. And I mean, it was large. It was wall to wall. I don't remember the exact square footage of the room, of course, because 4 years old. I never asked. I doubt I was able to talk at the time.
Yeah.
But in the fish tank, they had a large assortment of fish, of which most of them I can't remember what types. But I definitely remember that we had 2 lionfish, of which I still don't know how it's completely legal to own the lionfish with how venomous they are.
Yeah.
But every now and again, whenever they had to clean the tank, they had to stick their hand inside the tank to clean it.
Mm-hmm.
And whenever my mom and dad were cleaning said tank, my mom would just randomly stick her hand in and start messing with all the fish, and especially around one of the 2 lionfish. And I don't know how, but they didn't care. They liked her. They liked the women in our family.
All of the women in your family just reach their hands and it's like, oh, well, I like that.
Yeah, one day I decided to go downstairs and my mom was busy cooking. My dad was at his work at an old car toys place, I'm pretty sure. Essentially, it was monkey see, monkey do. And my parents used to tell me all the time, Derek, don't go and stick your hand inside the fish tank, because they're dangerous, venomous fish.
Mm-hmm.
But again, 4 years old, monkey see, monkey do, dumb kid. So one day I climbed up onto their bed frame because with their fish tank, it was right next to the bed. So I was fully able to climb up onto their bed at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I just climb up onto the bed frame, and I was able to stick my hand inside the fish tank because they left it open because they were cleaning it that day. And at first the fish were fine. They didn't really care. I even tried touching some of them. I got close, but they were all so skittish and swam away, ran away.
Yeah.
Whatever the right term is.
Mm-hmm.
But I got a bit too close to one of the lionfish. And the lionfish decided, hey, it's a guy this time. Let's sting him. So I got stung by the lionfish.
Oh, Lord.
And believe you me, it hurt so much. Literally, it was so bad that, like, in general, to treat a lionfish or lionfish sting, you'd either have to go to the hospital for antivenom if it was like deep, if the quill got stuck in your hand. But luckily for me, it was just like a little prick.
Yeah, I figured that.
Yeah, so luckily didn't have to go to the hospital, get an antivenom or anything.
Yeah.
So we decided to opt for the second option, which is just like 30, 40 minutes soaking your hand in almost scalding hot water. Like sticking your hands in hot water to the point where you can barely handle the temperature.
Yeah.
And man, I was screaming my head off.
Yeah.
Because of the pain. I vomited in the water because of the pain. But luckily, no lasting permanent damage, and I definitely learned a valuable lesson.
Oh, yeah.
Do not monkey see and monkey do.
Yeah.
And don't...
With something that, obviously, because you were 4, but yeah.
Yeah, and something that is, by definition, venomous, and if not treated in time, can...
Kill your...
Yeah, can kill.
Exactly.
Like, moral of the story, I learned, 1, listen to my parents when they tell me not to do something.
Mm-hmm.
And 2, don't trust an animal no matter how innocent it looks.
Definitely.
But yeah, that's the end of that story. So,
Okay.
David, time for the debrief. You can go ahead and interrogate me and figure out what the lie is.
I'm really torn between this one. I have 2 specific spots where I think it is. It's the antidote of like you putting your hand in the water and the vomiting, in which I'm not really sure. I kind of have a bias towards the... Not even a bias. I'm not sure. I think it may be the antidote one, just because I think it could be something else. I don't think it's specifically the hot water one, but instead like washing it with something. I think that would be it. But I really have no other points to where it could be anything else. So I think I am going to lock in my answer that I don't think it was scalding hot water that was the antidote.
Are you sure about that?
I am sure.
Going once?
Twice.
Twice? Sold. You are wrong.
What was it?
The lie was, it wasn't me that got stung. It was my dad.
Oh, no.
And also, speaking of which, that water trick, yeah, that's actually one of the ways you treat it.
Wow.
But
I was
yeah,
about to say.
But yeah, the lie was that I got stung. They would never let me near that thing while it was
course. I didn't even think about that, about how such a core part of it. But yeah, wow. Yeah, sorry to your dad, man. That sounds absolutely brutal.
Oh, he was in such agony because of it. And at the time, my mom was worried, but now whenever I bring up the story, she finds it absolutely hilarious.
I mean, I guess over time, like that's just the severity of it goes down. Comedy equals tragedy, I guess, plus time.
Yeah.
All right, Derek, thank you so much for telling us that awesome story, and thank you for listening. Make sure to subscribe to Red Devil Productions for future releases from the program. Next episode, we're going to have a very special guest on the show, so make sure to subscribe so you can see that when it comes out. But yeah, that's about it. Thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you next time.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the WSTC News Podcast, brought to you by the Belmont-Harrison Career Centers and St. Clairsville High School. I'm Zach Richardson.
And I'm Chloe Bowers. On today's episode, Oppenheimer sweeps the Oscars, daylight saving time begins, and may end for good, and a new safety program for St. Clairsville City Police.
First up in entertainment news, Oppenheimer came out on top at this year's Academy Awards, winning in 7 different categories. Some backstory on what Oppenheimer is based on. It is about the top-secret Manhattan Project. Lieutenant General Leslie Grove Jr. appoints a physicist named J. Robert Oppenheimer and a team of specialists to work on the world's first nuclear explosive. Production began in 1942 and their work ended on July 16, 1945, when the bomb was detonated, forever changing the course of history. Oppenheimer was brought to the screen by director Christopher Nolan, who was the sole writer on the project. The movie was nominated for 13 Oscars, which included the following: Best Director Christopher Nolan, Best Actor Cillian Murphy, Best Supporting Actor Robert Downey Jr., Best Picture, Best Original Score, Best Cinematography, Best Film Ending, and Best Film Editing. Interestingly enough, Barbie was nominated in many of the same categories, but unfortunately for Barbie fans, Oppenheimer won every time.
A recent study has shown that the microplastics and nanoplastics in our water systems may be leading to heart attacks and strokes. Microplastics are a polymer-built structure that can be broken down to 1 in 25,000th of an inch, and nanoplastics are even smaller, measuring at billionths of an inch. These plastic particles have been found in humans' bloodstream, lungs, arteries, and even in expecting mothers' fetuses. Scientists have been researching how plastic has degraded over time and is entering our water systems, nature, and even the food we eat. Plastic in the ocean, forests, and atmosphere are a global problem. These polymers are clogging carotid artery tissues and may be causing heart attacks and strokes and a few cases of death. Researchers have shown that switching to reusable bottles can reduce the quantity of the plastics that enter your body. Wise White, a professor at University of Cincinnati, stated in an email, "To help reduce new sources of microplastic in our environment, plastic makers have a goal for all U.S. plastic packaging to be reused, recycled, or recovered by 2040.
After years of tension between Sony and Marvel Studios, Marvel has concluded that the movies in Sony's Spider-Man universe are harming the Marvel brand. After acquiring rights to Spider-Man's IP from Marvel for $7 million in the 1990s, Sony is currently the owner of the sole rights to the TV show and film distribution for Spider-Man's IP. Sony's agreement with Marvel included a release of dedicated Spider-Man movies roughly every 5.5 years. In recent years, Sony had capitalized on the acquisition by developing their own cinema universe by making spin-off movies based on smaller Spider-Man comics characters, such as Venom, Madam Web, and Morbius. Sources have rumored that Marvel is on the brink of suing Sony over the rights to Spider-Man, saying their new movies are harming the Marvel brand. This could lead to Sony losing the rights of one of its biggest assets. Spider-Man himself, Dakota Johnson, and fellow co-star of Madam Web all fell for the Sony trap, using the Marvel name to draw into actors in their cinema universe. If Sony keeps using the Marvel brand to lure actors on other big projects, Marvel soon may have to take legal action to reclaim their web-swinging vigilante. Given the current status of the Spider-Man IP, Sony needs to embody one of their iconic lines from the Spider-Man franchise: "With great power must come great responsibility."
In entertainment news, YouTubers Kane Pixels and Markiplier are both working on a feature-length movie to be released in theaters. January 2022, Kane Parsons, under the channel Kane Pixels, published a short film on YouTube about The Backrooms, a meme created in 2019 and centered around a maze of endless and empty office halls located outside of our reality. The video was met with critical acclaim and praise, leading to Parsons creating an entire series of similar projects. Because of his work, he would be offered extremely quickly to make a feature-length film. A24, a film studio known for their experimental films, offered Parsons a chance to take his character and universe to the big screen and make his first true directional debut. Popular gaming YouTuber Mark Fishback, known as Markiplier, is also making a directional debut for theaters. Not a stranger to making movies, Fishback has directed and starred in multiple interactive films on his channel, such as A Heist with Markiplier and In Space with Markiplier. This new movie is based off Iron Lung, a horror game where the player must traverse an ocean of blood in a tiny submarine. The game's creator, David Szymanski, has confirmed he was involved with the production and apparently has a cameo role in the film. The Backrooms release date is still not known, while Iron Lung is believed to release sometime in 2024.
This past week, everyone once again had to spring our clocks forward 1 hour, resulting in loss of sleep across the nation. Daylight savings time was first introduced in March 1918 in order to lower electricity consumption and make better use of daylight hours. However, for years now, politicians and scientists have argued to get rid of these shift changes altogether. Although it isn't clear whether President Biden supports this bill, the Senate almost unanimously voted to allow states to choose to ignore daylight savings time. If this bill becomes law, it will active trigger bills across many states, effectively ending daylight savings time in those areas. A trigger bill is a special type of bill that immediately becomes law when a condition is met. Recent studies have shown that the time change may be harmful to our health, including causes an increase in heart disease, car accidents, and workplace accidents after each time change occurs. CBS took a poll asking whether daylight savings should stay or leave. Nearly 80% of Americans support the removal of daylight savings. At least 29 states have considered legislation related to daylight savings time. Half of those states have already approved of the change if Congress were to pass the rule.
On Friday, March 8th, St. Clairsville law enforcement launched a new program called Keys for Safety. This program focuses on safety for senior citizens and disabled aides, allowing the police department to have a copy of a home key for easy access during emergencies or welfare checks. Patrolman Andrew Gastick shares that the department will still be following the protocols in place, but for locked doors, this program will save time and stop damages from occurring. In an interview, School Resource Officer Michael DePlaga says this will also allow first responders to enter homes without causing a disturbance to the homes. All you have to do is sign up for the program, then officers will make a spare key and safely store it in case of an emergency. DePlaga also states that this effort is to help make citizens feel more safe and secure. That's all for this episode of WSTC News Podcast. Be sure to subscribe to Red Devil Productions for future releases from the program.
Thank you to our copywriters for this episode, David Battingle, Chloe Bowers, Cassidy Koslow, Seth Dowd, Zach Richardson, and Drew Roberts.